If your balance has been getting worse after 70, this video is going to change how you think about that problem completely. Not because of a new pill, not because of an expensive therapy, because of something most doctors never bring up in the office, and by the end of this video, you will understand exactly why. Here's what nobody tells you. Your balance is not failing because you're getting older. It is failing because 3 specific systems inside your body are being starved of the one stimulus they need to stay sharp. And the moment you give those systems what they need, something remarkable starts to happen. That stimulus is dancing. Before you click away, stay with me for just 60 more seconds, because what research from leading neuroscience institutions discovered about dancing and the aging brain is not what you expect. And it is going to reframe everything you think you know about staying steady on your feet. Most people over 70 are handed the same advice when their balance starts to slip. Slow down, hold the railing, be careful. And while that advice comes from a good place, it is quietly making the problem worse. Because when you stop trusting your body stops trusting itself. There's a cycle at play here that almost nobody talks about. Fear of falling causes people to move less. Moving less causes the balance systems to weaken further. And weaker balance creates more fear. Around and around it goes, until one fall changes everything. 1 in 4 adults over 65 falls every year. That is not a statistic about bad luck. That is a statistic about what happens when the body stops receiving the right signals. But here's what makes dancing different from everything else that has been tried. And I want you to pay close attention to this part, because it is the core of everything we are going to cover today. Your balance does not live in your legs, it lives in your brain. Right now, while you are watching this, your brain is processing signals from 3 separate systems simultaneously. Your inner ear, which acts like an internal gyroscope and tracks every movement of your head. Your proprioceptive sensors, which are buried inside your muscles, joints, and the soles of your feet, sending thousands of tiny signals per second about where your body is in space. And your visual system, which confirms and corrects everything the other 2 are reporting. After 70, all 3 of these systems slow down. The signals get weaker, the processing gets delayed, and in that tiny gap between losing your balance and catching yourself, falls happen. Now here's where it gets fascinating, and this is the part that surprised even the researchers who discovered it. A study published in Frontiers in Human Neuroscience compared older adults who did conventional fitness training, stretching, resistance work, endurance exercise, with older adults who danced regularly. Both groups improved, but the dance group showed something the fitness group did not. Their hippocampus actually grew. If you do not know the hippocampus, here's what you need to understand. It is the region of the brain responsible for spatial orientation, memory, and balance coordination. It is also the first region to shrink with age, and it was growing back in people who danced. That is not a small finding. That is a biological reversal of aging in the brain. And if that already has your attention, what comes next is even more important, because there is a specific reason dancing does this that walking, swimming, or gym exercise simply cannot replicate. And it comes down to something called a split-second decision loop. When you dance, your brain cannot go on autopilot. Every beat, every shift in rhythm, every change in direction forces your brain to process movement, timing, spatial awareness, and prediction all at the same time. It is not just exercise for your body, it is a full cognitive workout happening simultaneously. And that combination is what makes it uniquely powerful for balance. By the way, if you're finding this useful and you want more science, explain this clearly. This is exactly what this channel is built for. Hit subscribe so you do not miss what is coming next. Now here's the part that most balance advice completely misses. Balance is not just reactive, it is predictive. Your brain is constantly making tiny micro adjustments before you even realize you're losing your footing. It is anticipating the next step, calculating the shift in your center of gravity, preparing your muscles to respond. When that predictive system weakens, you do not just fall after something goes wrong. You fall because your brain was too slow to see it coming. Dancing trains that predictive system directly, because in dancing, your brain must constantly anticipate the next beat, the next move, the next direction. Over weeks and months of regular dancing, your brain gets faster at reading situations before they become dangerous. On stairs, on uneven pavement, when someone bumps into you unexpectedly. Research from the University of Missouri confirmed this. Older adults who dance regularly showed measurably faster proprioceptive response times than non-dancers. Their bodies detected imbalance and corrected it faster, not because their legs were stronger, because their brain's reaction speed had improved. And you do not need to be a dancer to get these benefits. You do not need a partner, a studio, or any prior experience. The research is very clear on what actually matters. 2 to 3 sessions per week, around 30 minutes each, music with a clear, steady beat. And this is critical. You do not need to get every step right. In fact, the moments when you miss a beat, when you have to correct yourself, when you adjust to stay on rhythm, those are the moments where the neurological benefit is happening. The brain is not learning from perfection, it is learning from correction. If you have joint pain or limited mobility, seated dancing is a legitimate starting point. Moving your arms, shifting your upper body, tapping your feet to music still activates your vestibular system and engages your brain's rhythm processing. It still sends the signal, it still counts. And here's something worth knowing about partner dancing specifically. When you dance with another person, your brain has to process one additional layer of information, the physical connection with your partner. Studies consistently show that social dancing produces greater balance improvements than solo dancing, precisely because of that added complexity. Line dancing, ballroom, folk dancing, any of these work. Most people start noticing changes within 8 to 12 weeks. Not dramatic changes at first, subtle ones. Moving through a room with a little more ease, feeling less hesitant on stairs, reaching for something overhead without that moment of uncertainty. But there is one more thing research has confirmed about dancing that almost never gets mentioned, and I saved it for last because it is arguably the most important finding of all. Dancing reduces the fear of falling. A clinical trial published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity measured fear of falling in older adults before and after a 10-week dance program. The reduction was significant, but what made this finding powerful was what happened next. When the fear went down, daily movement went up, confidence returned, people started doing things they had been quietly avoiding. Because here's the truth about fear of falling that most people do not realize. The fear itself is physically damaging. It causes you to tighten your muscles, shorten your stride, hold your breath slightly, and avoid the very movements that would keep your balance system strong. Fear of falling is not just emotional, it is a physical pattern that accelerates the decline it is trying to prevent. Dancing interrupts that pattern at the root. It does not just rebuild the systems that prevent falls, it rebuilds the trust you have in your own body. And that trust is something no exercise chart, no balance board, and no railing can give you. Your balance does not have to keep declining. The research has shown a clear path. 2 to 3 times a week, 30 minutes, music with a beat, and the willingness to move imperfectly, consistently, joyfully. That is the signal your brain has been waiting for. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever tried dancing for your health, or is this something you are considering for the first time? Tell me in the comments below. If this video helped you see balance differently, press the like button. It helps more people find information that could genuinely protect their independence. And if you want to understand what else is quietly affecting your body as you age, our next video reveals why your energy crashes in the afternoon, what is actually causing it, and the simple morning habit that fixes it. Watch that one next. Your body will thank you.